Ladies and gentlemen, this is David Mirikitani with another episode of Weighing In. We are brought to you by Nike Wrestling. Go to athleteps.com. We have some things to talk about there, by the way. Talk to you about Resolite, the mat company, best mats in the game, Pure and Clean Sports. Get your pure and clean product before the season starts, practices officially, unofficially around the corner, and by Jocko Fuel. They're helping us with the Fab 50. Guys, that's where I am today. I am in North Hunterton, New Jersey, getting ready for the setup. And I just flew here from Huntington Beach, got to do the Beach Nationals last weekend. Mark, our old boss, Gary Abbott, was there. Got a chance to sit, visit with him, literally visit with him afterwards, like sit and have a soda pop together and with him and his lovely wife. And he is writing a book on the history of USA Wrestling. I can only imagine how awesome that's going to be.
Yeah, he was with him a long time. So
I asked him, Grant, did he have to do any research or was this all just off the top of his head? So
he's got it loaded anywhere he wants, man.
So the Beach Nationals were awesome. Literally behind us was the Pacific Ocean. Shout out to Sergio and Todd Blank and those guys. Really cool event. Started at 11, got done at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. They had 5 rings / mats for those people that know what that means. Very simple rules, guys. First to 3, takedown is 1. A knee or an elbow to the sand is 1, a push out is 1, and feet directly to back is 3. First 1 to 3 wins, 3 minutes, 1 period. And if you're tied at the end of it, last point wins. So it was on USA Bracketing. It was on USA Wrestling's YouTube channel. So if you want to go back and watch any of that, got a chance to talk to Gary on the air, and that alone is probably worth listening to. So Mark, are you familiar at all with this beach wrestling stuff?
I am not, but I'd like to kind of get into it. It sounds interesting. I'm just wondering, are there any collegiate or top-notch guys that have wrestled Fargo, trying out for the Worlds?
Funny you should mention that. So there was a guy there, GT. He had a Colorado state champion tattoo on his chest, wearing Grandview Nike compression shorts. His name is Tyson Beaupervy. So GT's guy was GT just putting national champions out everywhere.
Tyson wrestled for me for a few years, and then he wrestled at Doane University for Dana Vogt.
Who
wrestled for Mark, apparently.
Who wrestled for me.
Yep. So he's a multiple-time All-American in the NAI. He's been kind of a big Greco guy for a while, but he's done very well at the Beach Nationals. I believe he's made a couple of different world teams now. But yeah, that style kind of fits him pretty well with that combination of kind of the Greco and like some upper body techniques. So very talented athlete.
Yeah, very explosive, put together really well. Nice guy, because they all check in right next to where we're sitting. So it's awesome. It's a really fun event to be a part of. And so I do those back-to-back weekends basically at Midwest Beach and Ozarks at Captain Ron's, and then literally at Huntington Beach at a place called, I think it's Zach's on the Pier. But it's very different, Mark. One of them's literally at a bar in the sand, like the sand volleyball pits.
Yep. And
then the other one's literally the Pacific Ocean. So different business models, but really cool both ways.
Is that true that they're trying to get that into the Olympics for sport, David?
Yeah, Gary talked about it. And so it's for all the reasons I talked about scoring. It's also both genders. So that helps. And Gary talked about that. Like right now, there's no Greco women. So big Olympics sees wrestling as a 12-man, 6-woman sport. Also, the venue's free. Wherever you hold the beach volleyball, you just pull the pegs out, and there it is. And they would set it. I think last time it was literally in front of the Eiffel Tower. So there's no setup. You don't have to go rent a venue. It's no additional cost. And 4 weight classes each right now. I think it's like 50, 60, 70, and above 70 for the women, and men is, sort of the equivalent, but heavier because, bigger people. So, yeah. And I got one of the coolest gifts I ever got from a wrestling meet. They gave us these engraved belt buckles. So I don't even know if I'm going to wear it. I think I might mess it up somehow, but definitely going to put it up in the TV room or in the bar. But super cool gift. There was a picture of all the guys afterwards, and trying to get a copy of that with Ed Duncan, Sergio Todd, Gary Abbott. And they let me jump in the picture. So I'm hoping we can find a copy of that, but it was awesome. So anyway, to the NCAA scene, Joe Johnston gets the job at Air Force after Sam Barber. I guess GT sort of did the Kevin Dresser move. He didn't retire and he didn't leave. He kind of moved up to an elevated role, staying inside of the Air Force. Joe Johnston, a University of Iowa wrestler, a University of Missouri assistant coach. Mark, you're nodding your head. I believe you're a big Joe Johnston fan, especially how he wrestled.
Yeah, I like the way he wrestled. He's get in your face and just attack nonstop. He's been, I think, an assistant at Air Force for a little while with Barber. So It's great to see them promote from within. I think that's kind of neat when guys have been with the program. A lot of times they'll go out looking for a big name or something. It's kind of nice when they leave it in-house and bring people up. So I think that's cool.
Yeah. And GT, I know you have a relationship with them. Your thoughts on Joe and Sam and Air Force and all that stuff?
Well, I think, one thing about the military service academies is that, it is it's a really, really good job. And if you do a good job for them, I think, like Sam Barber had Joe there for a long time. I think he trusts him to lead the program. So I think, basically hiring from within, you're going to do a really good job of kind of retention of those guys and keeping them within the service academy. Because once again, they're going to be, outside of maybe potentially like a Wyatt Hendrickson and a few other guys that have come through their program, they could go into WCAP, but most of those guys are going to be going full-time military. So I think Joe's going to be a great fit for it. Knows the system, knows the school. So I'm excited to see what they do.
You said a sentence, and you have very few throwaway sentences, but when you said knows the system, I think that's critically important, right? Like things are done differently in military academies. And if you're just listening, GT's nodding, and because to know that, like, hey, we have to do it this way. We can't do it this other way. And, somebody comes in from another school, like, we've always done it this way. Like, well, we're sorry. This is the military. It's one of the most prestigious universities, academies, institutions in America, maybe the world. And so this is how it has to go. Obviously, Joe was a big part of recruiting. And so he knows which athletes are even eligible to be there. I mean, it's obviously a smaller pool. And he also probably knows what he's looking for. Like, you can ask a few clarifying questions right up front and go, okay, I don't think this person wants a life of service. And that's actually a win-win, right? Like, GT, I'm older than you. If I recruit you and you're like, I want to do MMA. When I'm done wrestling, I want to do MMA. Okay, well, that's probably not the best fit to go in the Air Force or West Point or the Naval Academy, something like that. So anyway.
Hey, a quick sidebar, David, now that we're talking about military. Hendrickson from Oklahoma State on the RTC. When does he start his service time? I know he got permission to train to make the Olympic team. Is there a deadline date that he has to abide by? Do you know?
Well, let's back up because he wrestled for the Air Force Academy. So for people that may not have connected those things, that you're connecting that in your mind.
Yeah.
And just so everybody's following along. So he wrestled for Sam and Joe. Okay. And then, wrestled his last year at Oklahoma State. GT, and Mark, I think he's actually serving now, like as an athlete, like as an ambassador. They have various roles. And if not, it's deferred. And it's the deferment, I believe, is sort of open-ended in the sense that, like, you set an original date, okay? But let's say that my guess would be it would be till like September of 2028, right? Like to go through the Olympic cycle. Now, if he and the Air Force agree together, hey, his best role in publicizing the Air Force is to keep training, then that happens. Like guys like Ellis Coleman and Kamal Bey are officers in the Army, GT, right? But their service is training and wrestling around the world and doing clinics and seminars and things like that. That's how that branch sees them as actually serving the country, which I agree with. I'm not saying it skeptically, but I'm saying they have a special skill set. So
yeah, I mean, I think the one thing about, I would say Wyatt is that, I mean, I believe that he's on duties in Oklahoma with the Air Force. I think he still has responsibilities to the military. Once again, he's just like anybody else that joins the military. You have a service agreement. I have no idea what his service agreement is, if it's 3 years, 5 years, 6 years, 10 years. But I think the one thing about Wyatt in general, when it comes to like the WCAP program for the Air Force, is different than the WCAP for the Army. I mean, these are two separate service branches. It's like, if you're there for a long time, the Marines had a service, like they had their own WCAP program, which was done through the Navy, and that was all done in like North Carolina. And like, once again, there hadn't been very many like WCAP athletes wrestling for the Air Force specifically. There was some freestyle guys that have done that back in the day, but I mean, even the freestyle men's is now going to Stillwater, which, there hasn't been like an organization of like all WCAP men's freestyle. It's mostly been WCAP Greco, which is based in Colorado. So I think for Wyatt being a part of like specifically a different branch, he's still on orders. He still has a career within the Air Force. I have no idea what his specific job would be, but he'll have responsibilities military-wise that he'll have to do, along with his world-class athlete program that he's representing.
And you bring something else up, which is tied to last week, and it's my fault for not presenting it this way. But I heard somebody else say they thought the reason why Oklahoma State got in the Army WCAP program was like Kevin Ward, because he used to be the head coach at the Army. I don't think that's why. I think it's because they're interested in the government dollars that helps them, but also they saw firsthand how this worked, like GT just said, Mark, with Wyatt. Like, hey, he's here. He gets a stipend. He trains. So, like, if he gets a stipend, and then you can be the place where all these people get stipends, and they're in your room, like, why wouldn't you want them? Like, if you can bring it, let's just say they're all Greco guys. It still helps you with upper body position. I mean, Grant had Ben Provisor at Grandview. I'll bet you a few less guys got pushed out of bounds from having worked out with Ben Provisor. I'll bet you GT's better at holding center after working out with Ben Provisor. and I mean that sincerely, because Grant will still wrestle with these cats. So, and it's not just doing it, but like they're talking through positions and he understands things better now as a coach. But it's also when you feel it from a world-class guy, it's different than just somebody telling you about it theoretically. So I would guess that that's the more likely genesis of how this happened. Okay. Marco?
Yeah. I just was wondering because I knew he was there. I know because he went to an academy, he came out as an officer, which is different than, most people that sign up coming out of high school and going to training camp, boot camp, things like that. He's going to be an officer. So that's kind of why I think they're probably required to spend a little more time in there when you went to officer school. So that's what I'm just guessing though.
Yeah. I think the bottom line is Joe Johnston's a great fit for all the reasons that both you guys said. He's paid his dues. I think we're a big paid your dues kind of podcast, so to speak. So, we all know him personally and respect him. He'll do a great job. And so what's interesting, like, we're caught up in this portal world. Like, ain't nobody leaving the Air Force because the head coach changed, and so like that's sort of an opposite thing. So that's interesting as well. Let's move to U20s. Okay, so the Greco is over, and trying to find the results here. Greco-Roman results, Group 3. Manny Saldate lost to he's not French, but Magomed Farayev of France. 6'4", didn't get pulled through. Arvin Khosravi from California lost to Uzbekistan. Rustamov, 8'6". Trying to get back through to all these other results. Here's the day 3 notes. Let's go do this. Group 2, Zeke Witt took 10th. He went 0-1, but took 10th. Nutter went 1-2. Lost 2 1-1 matches, GT. That hurts. He was on the clock. He was down second. Takes 11th. Escura lost by tech fall to Gomez from Mexico. Takes 13th. Tuttle lost to Pappas 2-1 and takes 14th. And then let's get into the day 2 notes if we can, because we did have a bronze medal. So, and then the women or the young ladies are doing great. Leidecker's in the semis, Piper Fowler's in the semis. GT, while I'm digging up the rest of those results, what are your thoughts? I mean, Leidecker feels like she might be the next superstar for, I guess at this point it would be women's wrestling.
Yeah, I think the one bronze medal in Greco was Aiden Squire at 87 kilos in Greco. I think on the women's wrestling side at the U20 level, we got Morgan Turner that's in a bronze medal match, Taylor Whiting bronze medal match. I think what is it?
There's another one. I'll pull it up.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly who's all made their way towards that. Once again, I don't necessarily have all the information right up in front of me, but Everest, once again, making a senior world team along with Morgan Turner at that same age group category. Definitely gives a lot of, I would say probably excitement around that age group girl category that makes it way to the senior level, with Morgan Turner and Everest basically making the senior world team and being both on the U20 world team. It's great to see. I mean, the U.S. women's program has been great for a really long time. I'm just hoping to, see these girls make that transition towards that senior level and then working their way to LA in 2028, which I think both of these girls have a legitimate shot at working their way towards the Olympic team. I'm very excited to see what Everest does here today and tomorrow. Because I think she has the ability to, I don't know what they've decided for USA Wrestling, if all of those girls are going to compete at U23s as well in Las Vegas, heading into seniors, which would then be in Kazakhstan. But these girls both have the opportunity to wrestle all 3 teams if they so chose.
Yeah, you brought up a lot of good points. The Greco, quickly, 7 guys went 0-1, which was Witt, Saldate, Sorrow, Esgura, Khosravi, Tuttle, and Boger. 2 guys went 1-2, Nutter and Leister Bowling. And then the highlight was Aiden Squire. He lost to Yoshida, but got pulled through and won 10-2, 6-4, 6-6. Almost positive that is Zach Dominguez's guy, GT. And he went big late, like he was losing and got to the body and ran him down out of bounds for 4 to win that match, mark 6-6. And we haven't had a medal in Greco at this level for several years, so it's a pretty big deal.
That's nothing. In his match before that, he beat the returning world champion to make it into the bronze medal match.
That means Yoshida must be a freaking beast.
Yeah, Yoshida is the senior level world team guy for Japan as well. He's been on that for. I mean, he's going to be really good.
So do you know the world champion he had beaten, Grant?
Was it in the which repechage match, or was it
the Luka Kolchalidze? Is that right?
Georgia?
Yeah, from Georgia. He was a U20 world champ in 25. I don't think that he's. I mean, that guy's, I think, pretty young still. I think he's only like maybe 18.
Okay.
So,
wow.
But yeah, that's a good quality win. And once again, it's a lot of matches for that young man.
Yeah. So here's the girls, I guess, women's results. Morgan Turner wins in the round of 16, loses to the Japanese wrestler in the quarters, gets a tech fall against the German, and she's going to wrestle Kayla Batras, who's representing Guam, but wrestles for Greensfarms Academy, I think, but wrestles for the United States. So that's an awesome match. Taylor Whiting got pinned by the Canadian in the round of 16, and relatively small bracket here, beat the Indian 10-0, and will wrestle Lee from China for bronze. So we right now have 2 fifths that could advance the third. Everest goes pin, and then she's in the semis. If she wins, she'll have the Japanese wrestler in the final, most likely. I looked that up. GT, your thoughts there? Like, do you know much about her matchup? Let me see if I can pull this match up.
For which one?
Lidecker wrestles Zhao of China, and then will wrestle Kozuka from Japan, most likely in the finals. You know anything about either one of those young ladies?
I don't.
Okay, fair enough.
I do know Bella Williams will wrestle the reigning world champion from Japan, or she already did, lost 10-0.
She did, and got pulled. Yeah, which hopefully get pulled through. She has to win, right?
Yeah. And Cole's from Canada, I believe, is a U17 world champion.
Yes.
For Canada. And she's kind of the new hot topic up in Canada. She's well on her way from age group category success to potentially being on the senior level. But yeah, she's no slouch either.
Sounds like it. So Bella Williams needs Anishi to win to get pulled through. Hanrahan is the same thing, needs Svensson to win to get pulled through. Gretchen Donnelly loses a heartbreaker 4-3 against the Ukrainian, and then she apparently is also waiting to get pulled through. Piper Fowler is wrestling great right now, is 11-1, 10-0. And then the 3 young ladies haven't wrestled yet. Carly Brooks, 57, Kaylee Graber, 59, and Taina Fernandez, 68. If I had to pick one person to win a gold medal over there for us, it'd probably be Taina Fernandez, GT. I feel like she just killing people. And I'm pretty good friends with Nathan Williams, Bella's dad, and he said that, Bella had a chance to train. They kind of found a place to meet up and train, and he doesn't impress very easily. He said he was super impressed not only by Taina as a wrestler, but as a human, like training habits, how she treated Bella, etc. So that's nice to hear that there's good people that are also good wrestlers that are also good people. So, and then just so people understand this, the men's freestyle has not started yet. Men's freestyle starts August 20th.
Tomorrow.
Okay, I'm sorry?
Tomorrow.
Yes, right. Yes. So tomorrow at 4 a.m. qualification rounds for 61 and 86, which is Seidel, and 86 is Aiden Sinclair. So, and then Friday is 57, which is Cortez, 65, which is Bassett, 92, which is Burton. I'm sorry, 79, which is Burton, and 92, which is Jimmy Masney. And then the last 4 weights are 70, which is Rabideau, 74, Jaden James, 97 and 125, which are Michael Boyle and Drayshawn Ross. So we should point out there's a lot of people that just watch podcasts because they love college wrestling. And that's, you should watch whatever you want, why, for whatever reason you want. But if you love college wrestling, U20s are about the time you should start at the very latest getting interested in international results, right, Mark? And you were kind of that guy several years ago. You know, you expanded your repertoire, but like these dudes on these teams, they've either already had big college results like an Aiden Sinclair, or we expect them to, like pretty much everybody else on this team, like a Jaden James, a Bo Bassett. I mean, like Landon Rabideau won nationals last year as a true freshman. Like these are the superstars of today and highly expected tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, the team that we sent over there is a phenomenal team. I think it may be one of the better U20 teams that we've sent in a while. So, you know, I predict that the United States will probably have at least 5 champions come out of this, that's a tall tale for 10 weights. So
5 champs.
I think so.
GT, if the over-under is 4.5, do you go with Mark or do you go under?
If we have 5 champions, that might be that's got to be close to the record for U20 World Championships.
I would guess it is.
Like I don't know if we've ever won 5 gold medals at age group category. I mean, outside of Pan Ams or whatever, but like at the actual world,
yeah,
it'd be interesting. Mark, I'm on pace with you. I think there's probably an opportunity for us to. I think we could probably medal at 7. I think there's some tough dudes there. I mean,
Flo picked 8 medals, so you guys, you're right with them.
How many champs did Flo pick, David?
They picked Seidel to win it, Bassett to win it. I think Jaden James to win it, and Sinclair to win it. But they had Rabideau second and Drayshawn second. So they had 6 in the final. So I would imagine, Mark, your 5 champions are, and I'm just going through this weight-wise, like the ones that you think are very likely. Like if you Seidel, Bassett, Rabideau, that's 3. Jaden James, 4. Sinclair, 5. And then literally your hometown hero, Drayshawn Ross, 6. Are those are your guys, right?
Those are 6 that I think can get in the finals, and I think they can probably win 5 of those. But, I mean, Burton has looked really, really good.
He's super impressive, man. Super impressive.
So, I mean, I don't really see a hole anywhere. I think we're going to be very competitive at every weight. Cortez, I don't know a lot about at 57, and I don't think anybody picked him to be on the stand at all.
Yeah.
And so, but besides that, I think everybody has a shot at placing. At least in the top 5.
I mean, you look at the credentials: Seidel, 3rd NCAAs, Bo Bassett's won everything at this point. Landon Rabideau, NCAA champion. Jaden James, dang near beat David Carr.
He did beat David Carr. 1 match.
Jaden James?
I think he did.
No, it was just a 1 out of 1. I don't think. GT, am I crazy? It was in the mini tournament in Ohio.
I can't remember.
But Jaden
For
James.
some reason, what about the Open, David? That made go there.
David got beat by
Amin.
The other guy from Penn State.
Joe Seeley.
Oh, Seeley. And he beat Seeley like a drum. Jaden
did.
James did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
You're all right.
Close.
All right. But Jaden James, kind of.
Same
Jaden
thing.
James, U17 medalist, Aiden Sinclair. And I'm just trying to pick the NCAA credentials for most guys because people are more familiar with that. Aiden Sinclair, third at nationals this year. Drayshawn Ross has been a superstar. It's not, nice to see him healthy. But I mean, you have a bunch of guys here that have scored a truckload of points at NCAAs. You have a third, a first, a third, just three guys right there and those other guys haven't had a chance to wrestle in the tournament yet. Okay. So like Jimmy Massey is going to his senior year in high school. Cortez will be at Cornell this year as a freshman. Seidel will be a sophomore. Bassett, freshman. Old freshman, but freshman. Rabideau, sophomore. Jaden James, so young, freshman or defer. Burton, redshirt freshman. Sinclair, sophomore. Massey, as we said, senior in high school. Michael Boyle, senior in high school. And talk about professional segues, Grant Turner. Drayshawn Ross will be a freshman. And we were trying to figure out how Konner Doucet is on the Oklahoma State roster. So I pulled up the Oklahoma State website, and this is what it says. So not quite sure how this works, not saying it's wrong. In 2020 to 21, compiled a record of 6-3 as a true freshman. So I'm guessing that was it's not his redshirt year. He wrestled. 21-22 was his redshirt year, it says. 22-23, he went 18-12. 23-24, he went 21-11. So now he's wrestled 3 years and redshirted. 24-25, it says went 5-0 in the heavyweight division. And then obviously 25-26, he was an All-American. So he's an All-American year, a year of 21-11, that's 2 years. 18-12, that's 3 years. A redshirt year and 2 other seasons. So I don't know how that he has another year. Mark?
Yeah, I don't see a problem with it. I think, the way things are now,
Wait a minute. You're okay with him just having another
7
year?
or 8 years, why not? I mean, what's the NCAA these days going to do, David? I mean, you even mentioned that you're going to take them to court. They're going to say, okay, go ahead. Go ahead and wrestle. What does it matter to us? So,
Okay. All tongue-in-cheek aside,
I still think Drayshawn is going to be their starter. That's just my opinion. I don't know how you're going to try to keep him off the mat.
yeah. So, GT, a couple things here. I don't know how both of those seasons go away, right? He had 3 full seasons. He had a redshirt year, and he had 2 other partial seasons. And basically, they're saying.
But one of those years did not count at all, right, David? Because of COVID? 2021 was a freebie?
Let me go back.
Yeah, so 2021 or the 20 to 21 season is a freebie for everybody.
Okay, so that doesn't, so he starts, so it's freebie redshirt, and then, so basically they're trying to say the 24-25 year where he went 5-0 didn't count.
Matt probably trying to get a medical there. I'm guessing.
Okay, well, that's the math of it. So.
But okay, so I'm just gonna. I did a little bit of work while you guys were like talking a little bit. So true freshman year, 21, right? Year 1.
Yeah.
22, year 2. 23, year 3. 24, year 4. 25, year 5. 2026, year 6. 2026, 2027 would be a 7th year of college. If we go to like Jesse Mendez, 23, 24, 25, 26, maybe potentially 27, which is just straight up 5 years.
And I saw that somebody else ruled against the injunction, so now we don't know if Mendez and Levi are eligible. But anyway, go ahead and back to your point of 6+1 versus 4+1.
I just don't understand how they're messing with all of this eligibility and people that are in college for 7 years. And once again, I like Konner Doucet. I think he's a great wrestler. I'm happy that he was an All-American. Like, he's been a great warrior for the Oklahoma State program for a long time. Brother, you're going to school for 7 years. Like, he better come out of there with like 6 master's degrees.
He's on the Grant Leith program. Like, one more year and he becomes a provost. That's what, like.
Exactly. But I mean, like, I think there's guys that, like, in football that have been able to, like, get all the way up to like 8-9 years or something like that. It's crazy. But I think to Mark's point, and once again, there's a little bit of tongue in cheek, like, yeah, what is the NCAA going to do about these types of situations? Like, they'll never be able to win a court case.
The analogy I always make is it's like a kid who makes more money than their parents, and then their parents are trying to ground them and set a curfew. It's like, I don't need you. And the NCAA has figured out that if they keep the basketball tournament, they can hire a bunch of stuffed shirts that are not necessary. Okay, the leadership is absolutely bloated at the top. Like, there's just a bunch of people making a bunch of money that don't need to be there. So it's an old boys club, and they're riding on the backs of athletes. And we could get social on this, but it's just not great. To go back to Konner Doucet specifically, I think if you're David Taylor and you can get him another year, it certainly keeps him to want to be in the room. If you're a Drayshawn Ross fan, Mark, which I know you clearly are, and a lot of us are, but you more so than us because of the Fort Dodge connection, he now has Doucet to work with and Wyatt Hendrickson to work with. And the number one complaint for heavyweights, and you've coached some great heavyweights over the year, including Cain Velasquez, among others, is finding somebody to work out with them. Yep. I imagine Cain Velasquez might have been the hardest guy in the world to find a workout partner for, because not only was he a heavyweight, but he was a heavyweight with a just ridiculous gas tank. Usually, like, those guys like standing around and not doing much, at least in the old school days. And he was sort of the guy that was just bigger than 197, but wrestled like that.
Yeah, I had to hire a heavyweight coach that could train with him. That's kind of what we did. Eric Stroner, who used to wrestle for the University of Iowa.
I remember him. Yeah.
And he's tough. So, and even Eric, after about 2 weeks, says, dude, I don't fucking do this anymore. The kid won't keep going. He just keeps coming at me nonstop. So,
yeah. So, but I think if you're Drayshawn, that this is an environment where you can get better, right? And, like, that's one of the secrets of the Penn State's room, right? Like, they've got Jake Varner, who wrestled at 97 kilos, which is 213. So he's clearly not walking at 213 anymore. Kale, who made a world team later in life at around 200 pounds, but, won the Olympics. I think it was 84 kilos back then, GT, if I'm correct. So it's like 185, and he was a 184 pounder his last year, or 197, 184 in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but again, big guys, right? So then if you're like the Mirasolas, you're like, okay, those are built-in workout partners, right? And Taylor's definitely just copying the Penn State playbook. And it's not like Penn State created it. They just executed it the best. Get as many great RTC guys you can in the room, and they're all spread out. So when you have a Dake and you have a Zane and, you have all these other guys spread out up and down the lineup, like Nick Lee's name. I'm sorry?
Schneider.
Yeah, there's another guy. Yeah. Brooks, right? Like, up and down the lineup, like, Thomas Gilman, whatever his status is, right? But was there for a long time, lightweight guy. So, and these are also guys I'm sure you can just text and go in and get a workout in with, Like, you don't have to go to practice to get a workout in with these guys. So that part's super fascinating to me. Let me pull up here. So one of the things I was kind of interested in was talking to you guys about, well, I think we can get at least into one duel that will happen, most likely. And at the national duels, we've talked about the teams that are not in. Iowa's not in, Nebraska's not in, Penn State's not in, Michigan's not in. Okay, that eliminates a lot of really awesome duels. Okay. But the duel that we're most likely to see there, or I think, let's put it this way, the duel I think everybody would like to see there is Oklahoma State, the host school, the hometown crowd against Virginia Tech.
Agreed, 100%.
Okay. And by the way, I heard from a guy who's never been wrong that.
Oh, I called you?
What?
Oh, the guy.
I thought he was talking about me, David.
I know. It's like, hey.
I don't remember.
It's so funny because we talked for an hour yesterday.
I was like, oh, what did I tell you?
What did I say yesterday? As I was getting out of
yesterday. I know we did. So it is me. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Anyway, this third guy that's never wrong.
There you go.
There's another guy.
GT goes, there you go.
Is he going to join the podcast, Grant?
I've almost forgotten my point.
Is there room for 4 guys on the screen?
It's a very big point, what he told me. He said Jax is going down in 28. He's not going up. Okay, that's remarkable to me. But they said like they got his diet in order. He's off the Ben and Jerry's. There's some things like that. And that he's going to go down, which in one sense is completely shocking to me. In the other sense, it makes sense that like he's wrestling essentially now up a weight in college from his Olympic weight. And it also means, GT, I would assume, that he's much more likely to go try to make the 27 team at 61 kilos, assuming the 28 process is the same. Because then he would be to the semis and not even have to make weight down there.
Well, they need to start figuring out that in order to make sure that those athletes that want to be a part of that process understand it, rather than, because I mean, like changing your body is going to be difficult for a lot of these guys, right? So
James Green might be the ultimate example of that, which we've talked about numerous times. And James Green is the ultimate example of going up. Certainly has worked out better for him than going down. Like, he went up and made the team and beat like some superstars to do it. So, but yes, GT's point, Mark, is dead on the nuts accurate. Like, you've got to, that process has to come out quickly.
Agreed.
The other thing when I talked to Joe Russell was that there was a push to do the Olympic trials in December, but it's going to most likely stay in April. And so I think a lot of it has to do with the success of college athletes. Like, how many college athletes could make our team? You know, they're like, you know, if you look at Lillidow and you look at Jax and you look at Blaze, and, you know, you're going to, like, Landon Robideau is going to try to make a team, I'm sure. And D. Lockett's going to try to make a team for sure. And Aiden Sinclair is going to try to make a team for sure. And Drayshawn Ross is going to try to make a team for sure. You know, and I'm sure Bo Bassett's going to try to make a team for sure. Okay. So I was about to say, I'm sure I'm missing Mitchell Messenbrink will have graduated, Jaden James, PJ Duke. Okay. Like Levi will be gone by then, but there's a bunch of people.
Seidel, another Virginia Tech kid.
Seidel.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. So there's a bunch of guys that are legit. Like, if they were in the semis of the Olympic trials, you wouldn't be shocked.
Yep.
These are not 12 seeds. Okay. So, I mean, I think that's important.
Agreed.
Because USA Wrestling has this sort of interesting, like, farm system relationship with colleges, universities, because USA Wrestling is not developing these guys. I mean, they sort of are at the youth level with all the tournaments, but they're still not developing them. They're creating environments for the development to showcase itself. Okay.
Yep.
So anyway, so I took us off on a tangent, but I think it was fine. So let's go back to Oklahoma State, Virginia Tech. And I found a pen and paper here.
Projected duel.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting. Okay. So let me pull up WrestleStat because I don't want to mess anything up here. I think we'll be fine. Let's just get started. So we'll get GT when we get to it. So 125. Let's kind of do it this way. We'll pick guys, but like sort of put percentages on it, right? Like if it's 55-45, there he is, just in time. We're going to do Virginia Tech against Oklahoma State, GT.
Okay.
What I was saying was, let's do it in like, hey, there's 100% chance or 99% Grant beats David. The Grant mark matches 51-49 kind of thing. Okay. Because then you look at the swing matches later. And I think that's why people would still pick Penn State over Oklahoma State in the duel, because I think there's 4 matches they're probably just going to win. And it'd be tough for, like, very quickly, like if Rabideau beat or lost to Duke, it feels toss-up-y.
Yep.
It feels much more likely that Levi Haynes would beat Lorenzo Norman, or that Rocco Welsh would beat Bennett Berge.
Yep.
Or even Josh Barr would beat Merrill. Like, we've seen that match. So,
or Little Doll would beat
Spratley.
I mean,
Correct.
those are your big matches right there.
Yeah, there's 4 that you feel like, and Messenbrink's going to win.
Yeah.
So there's 5. They're going to win 5.
Yeah.
Oklahoma State's got to win all the other ones. And Ross would have to beat Amirasola,
Which he's never done.
which he's never done. Okay, at 49, Vega Van Ness. I mean, I think you favor Vega, but you know, maybe the magic runs out at some point.
Yep.
41, Rainey against Blaze or Ono. I don't know who you pick there, right? Feels toss-up-y. And 33, I think you pick Jax, maybe, but Blaze beat him the last time they wrestled.
Over Ono, though?
Over Ono, that's a very interesting conversation, right? We've heard that conversation on other podcasts.
Yeah.
Like, I think you would favor Ono in freestyle, but folk style is a different beast, right? 0-0 would be in favor of Jax.
Yep.
Jax also has the ace in the hole of, even if Ono takes him down twice, he could pick top. Doesn't mean you score, but he scores from top. He's not a rider. He's a turner.
True.
It's a big difference. There's a bunch of guys that ride to get to 1 minute of riding time or ride 30 seconds to win the match. Like, Jax turns people, and he gets you tired. And if you've never wrestled on bottom your whole life, it's tough.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go through this and see what we think about Oklahoma State and Virginia Tech. We'll start at 25, Eddie Ventresca, Spratley. So Spratley placed ahead of Eddie Ventresca, but Eddie Ventresca beat him in the duel last time, and it changed the seeds dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I don't think we have to pick. We can pick. It feels very toss-up-y. I feel like it's very close. If I had to pick, I would pick Spratley because it's at Oklahoma State, essentially, in Tulsa. GT, you were at that tournament last year. Like, what do you think?
I'd take Spratley.
Okay. All right. I've got it like 55-45. Does anybody have it significantly different?
49-51.
Okay. That's okay. Within 5% of the margins. Okay. Are you taking Eddie Ventresca or Spratley?
Ventresca.
Okay. 33 would be Jax Seidel. I would pick Jax. He won last time. It was fairly convincing. Well, he beat him twice. The first one was very close. The second one was convincing. I just don't want to skip the 10-9 match. It might have been the best match of the year in college wrestling.
I think Jax probably won that. He widened the gap last time they wrestled. I
would pick Jax like 80-20, 80% of the time.
Agreed.
GT?
I'll take Jax.
Okay. So we feel like that one's a pretty decisive, though. Like, we agree on that he's going to win most of the time.
So we're assuming that Seidel is at 33?
Yeah.
Just as a caveat, I highly doubt that Seidel ever makes 33 ever again.
Okay.
I think that Seidel will go to 41 probably.
And what will Bassett do?
Probably 49.
And what will Henson do?
57.
And then what will Noah Ninegar or Guy do? Like, somebody's just going to get.
I believe that that's where we'd like to call the transfer portal.
A little group we like to call TBD.
Yeah. I just don't know if Seidel can make that weight again. I mean, once again, I didn't want to like interrupt our flow, but like, I don't know if Seidel, I think he's growing. I think he's getting a lot taller. He's going to fill out. Like, I just, my own personal opinion, I don't think he's going to be at 33, but I have nothing to back that up other than just like my own thoughts.
Well, eyeball test, I think is fair.
Yeah.
He's a big
But
human
do
being.
they have somebody else they can throw in at 33?
I'm pulling up their roster as we speak, and the answer is yes. But we'll get there. But so GT, to your point, it makes it even more likely that Oklahoma State would win 25 or 33 rather, 33.
Yeah, I think so. I think what was the kid that got hurt? That was before that.
Dylan Campbell.
There you go. I think he's in the lineup at that weight class.
Okay, so 41 is either Seidel or Bassett against Tegan Jamison or Rainey.
I'm gonna go with Rainey.
I'll go with Bassett over.
No, I'm gonna go with Rainey being the starter because 2 against 3. You got 2 Raineys against 1 guy, so I'm gonna go with that. So,
Attaboy, Mark. Attaboy,
but
Mark.
I'm
I
gonna
love
go
it.
with,
I love it, buddy.
I'm gonna go with Virginia Tech.
Pack your
winning.
stats.
Virginia Tech wins no matter who they have out there.
It's stat padding. Okay, I have Virginia Tech. GT, do you also have if Seidel's here?
Yeah, I would take Virginia Tech at this weight class.
Okay, we feel pretty comfortable about that one.
Yeah.
Okay. 49 would be Sergio Vega against Bassett or Caleb Henson. And to me, this feels like a complete toss-up. So I'm going to pick Virginia Tech because I picked Oklahoma State at the other 25 toss-up. But you could flip them. Mark's got a smart. Who are you picking?
Well, everybody's talking about Sergio Vega not ever giving up a takedown in college, and it's going to be a 5-timer. And I think the last time him and Bo wrestled, wasn't it? Didn't Bassett beat him?
He beat him like 15-14 in freestyle.
Okay.
But again, it could be Caleb Henson.
True. And I like Caleb Henson. I'm going to go with Vega.
Okay. So you and I have 25 and 49 flip-flops. So dual meet wise, we're the same so far.
Yeah.
Okay, GT.
I'll probably take I'm taking Vega.
Okay, so GT's got 25 and 49 both for Oklahoma State so far. Okay. 57, yep. Landon Robideau against, this is where I kind of hope Grant is right, because Caleb Henson against Landon Robideau would be awesome.
Would be a good match.
I think it'd be an awesome match. But so this is where I think this is where it gets tricky, right? Because right now it's Colin Guy, or I would pick Robideau over Guy, and I feel like Henson Robideau's a toss-up. You guys, GT, what are your thoughts there?
See, I think this is why, I think, because I want to say, was Colin Guy a true freshman last year?
Yes, and placed.
Now, this is where this 5-for-5 thing kind of throws me off here a little bit when I was kind of thinking of this lineup shift, is that Colin Guy is that good. I just don't know, I didn't want to not give him his flowers as well. He's super tough.
He plays in nationals as a true freshman. You're legit as hell. For sure.
And he got, once again, he got 5th at a pretty crazy weight class with a ton of high level talent. But I think for this conversation, I would, if I'm Virginia Tech, I'm wrestling probably the lineup that shifts. I'd put Caleb Henson up against Robideau just to see what happens.
And then Colin Guy mows up 2 weights and goes to 65.
I don't know yet, because I think they still have, is they still have Church there, or who do they have at 65?
But the guy with the best credentials are Colin Guy, which we'll just do for the sake of the picks. We're going to pick the best credential lineup in both.
Yeah. So that I would take Robideau.
You take Robideau over Caleb Henson.
Yes.
Okay. Mark?
Henson.
I'm going to take Henson. But again, this feels very toss-up-y.
Yep.
Okay. All right. 65 would now be D. Lockett or Swiderski against, I think, Colin Guy or Noah Ninegar. I think Oklahoma State's favored at that spot either way. Any disagreement?
Nope.
Okay.
What weight is Burton going to be? 74.
74.
Okay.
Burton's going to be 74. That's exactly what weight he's going right now, 79 kilos. Burton now against Lorenzo Norman. This feels like toss-up all over it. But maybe I'm wrong. Mark, you see a clear winner here?
I'm going to take Norton. I think once he gets in
Norman?
I just think Norman, once he gets in that Oklahoma State room, I think you're going to see really quick advances, improvements. And I think he's really hard to wrestle. He's really long. He's got really good hands-head defense. And I just think it's going to be hard for Burton to score on him.
Once upon a time, we saw him wrestle a really close match with Plott. It's interesting now they're in the same room and 30 pounds apart. But yeah, and we saw him wrestle. We saw him beat Nelson Brands, people like that. GT?
I mean, like I've kind of like been on, I don't know, let's say like I would say I've been kind of more on the cowboy side here. I think this could be a weight that VT steals one here. I haven't seen Lorenzo Norman wrestle in a few years, so I don't know what he looks like. The last match that I kind of remember him just like in my mind is like when he wrestled Keegan O'Toole, and it was like really close, and it's like, well,
wow.
Like, I mean, once again, Lorenzo Norman is really, really good, but yeah. I'll probably just rock with Burton just because I feel like there's going to be a toss-up one that I'm missing on the other ones that I've picked for Oklahoma State that'll go the other way. So I'll take Burton in a close decision.
I'm going to rock with Burton just to see if we can get to a 15-15 duel. Okay. 84. So it's either Sergio DeCianti or Jaden Bullock against Bennett Berge. I would guess that Berge's, first of all, I think this is the worst weight of the duel. I think this is the one weight where there might not be an All-American. And I'm not sure there's another weight where you could say definitively no All-Americans on either side. Neither one of these guys will be. I mean, Bennett Berge placed a couple years ago, but maybe he's ranked 8th, but 84 is a really good weight coming back. So I think it might, and because they're both going to be ranked like 10 to 15, it's probably a really close match, but it's not theoretically like Jax Forrest, Aaron Seidel as an example, which could be an NCAA final. So GT, who you got here?
I'm going to take Bennett Berge by decision.
Okay, Mark?
I'm going to take Virginia Tech by decision.
And I'll take Berge. So again, this is another toss-up match. 97 is Merrill against Sonny Sasso, which sounds like a no-brainer, but Sonny Sasso beat him in the duel last year.
I'm going with I think he's hard to wrestle.
Okay.
I know Oklahoma State was second at nationals last year, had a phenomenal national tournament, keeps all the matches. Merrill keeps them all close. I think this is something Virginia Tech's going to have to stay in the duel, so I'm going to take them upset.
GT, you got Merrill or you got Sasso?
I'm going to take Merrill.
Okay.
I just think Merrill, I put him in a match no matter where he's at, and it's going to be close. I mean, I just think that he's a guy that keeps everything close, so it's like really hard for me to like say he's going to get majored, but like I have more chance of him winning close matches than I do have him losing close matches, just because he's kind of done that his entire career. But
he had that match with Rocky Elam in the duel where like he did everything but win the match. Like it was wild, like it was. I mean, and Rocky just I think out-savvied him, which is But I think you're right in general. Like Merrill for a freshman is really savvy. Then we got heavyweight.
I just want to make sure that like Mark's pick, like once again, Sasso's beat him before. I wouldn't be surprised to see Sasso win that match either. It's just for the sake of picking, it's hard for me to go against the guy that's a national runner-up.
Right. I agree.
It's hard. It's hard for me. Tough.
Yeah. heavyweight is Jimmy Mullen against Doucet or Ross. And just for the sake of trying to keep this podcast about an hour, do we all have Oklahoma State here?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So GT has Virginia Tech winning 2 matches, 41 and 74. So he's got it as a blowout. Mark has Virginia Tech winning 25, 41, 57, 84, 97. He has it 5-5. I have Virginia Tech winning 41, 49, 57, 74, 97. I have it 5-5. So the only matches that we agreed on were heavyweight, which is Oklahoma State, 33, which is Oklahoma State, and 41, which is Virginia Tech. So if we say we're right on the ones that we picked together, Oklahoma State's up a match, and Virginia Tech's got to win 4 of the 7 toss-ups. Now, that can happen. I think Virginia Tech will be very excited about it, like a chance to go in and steal one in Oklahoma. And I haven't seen the schedules yet, but I saw somebody post, and God only knows if it was a reliable source or not, but that they're not on each other's schedule this year, which is probably smart. Like once they schedule the national duels, they're like, they don't need to, and it's essentially a home meet for Oklahoma State. So Virginia Tech doesn't owe them one back.
Yep.
So, all right, boys, it's been an hour. I have to go get to a walkthrough. Anything else before we boogie?
No.
Watch the U20 World Championships if you can.
Yeah.
Going to be some really great wrestling here. Looking forward to seeing what the U20 men's freestyle team and what the women do to finish out their world championships.
And what we just mentioned, 5 of the guys are in this meet. Seidel, Bassett, Burton, Rabideau, Ross. So 5 of the kids that most likely of the 20 are in this meet. So if this duel was interesting to you, U20 should be very interesting to you. For Mark and Grant, I'm David. Thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll see you next week.